It's Antonio Margarito versus Shane Mosley.
What would you do if you found out your opponent planned on cheating? Would you still fight? Even more so, what if you found out just an hour before your fight? This is exactly what happened to Shane Mosley on January 24th, 2009. You see, Mosley had a big challenge ahead in Antonio Margarito, El Tornado de Tijuana, a Mexican boxer with an iron chin. Standing at 5 foot 11 inches, Antonio is much larger than the average welterweight. Durability is not the only attribute Margarito possessed, as he also packed a good punch. Having a knockout percentage of 64, Margarito finished 27 of his 42 opponents. His most recent victory at the time also ended in a knockout. This is where Margarito faced off against Miguel Cotto, the undefeated Puerto Rican phenom, giving Cotto his first loss. That victory propelled the Tijuana Tornado into stardom amongst Mexican boxing fanatics. But Margarito's secrets would soon change him from a hero of the people to a villain of his sport. Mosley, a crafty veteran, had an amazing career prior to the Margarito fight, defeating Oscar De La Hoya twice and knocking out Fernando Vargas twice. He was known for his ability to box and brawl. Already worthy of being a Hall of Famer, he was not hesitant to take on new challenges. The same fighter Margarito beat, Miguel Cotto, is the same fighter Mosley lost to a year before his attempt at the newly crowned welterweight champ. Many believe that what happened to Cotto foreshadowed Mosley's future. It didn't help that Mosley was heading into his 40s either, or that he was going through a divorce in the middle of his training camp.
We've learned that 2 weeks ago, Mosley had to leave his mountain retreat to come down to finalize the terms of his divorce.
Rightfully so, he was placed as the underdog for the betting odds. The boxing world was counting him out, but no one could foresee the events to occur at Staples Centers that Saturday night. Because an attempt at one of the most unforgivable crimes in boxing was carried out. As Margarito wrapped his hands, Mosley's new trainer, Nazeem Richardson, stood by to ensure no foul play was involved. As Richardson physically checked the hand wraps of Margarito, it was obvious that something was not right.
There was such a distraction about the tape on the wrist. You know, that could be the fake out. I'll show you this to give you something else. So I checked the pad, and when I checked the pad, it felt hard. So then the commissioner felt it. He said, that feels pretty hard. The commissioner flipped it open, and a block fell out of it.
The block hidden in Margarito's hand wraps contained ingredients that form plaster of Paris. This substance hardens when it comes into contact with moisture, meaning that as a fighter sweats, the powder morphs into a cast-like consistency, making the user's hand wraps hard enough to fracture the opponent's bone structure with ease. After Mosley spent weeks of training, hours of running, and time strategizing, Margarito tried to cheat him out of a win. If Margarito was using loaded hand wraps, what else could he have done in preparation? So when faced with the decision to continue the fight, Shane answered in true warrior fashion.
Do you want to fight or not? I'm like, don't want to fight. He can put the motherfuckers back on because I'm coming to knock him out.
As they walked out, it was obvious no one but the fighters and their corners knew what had just gone down. Mosley, the hometown fighter, received no love from the pro-Mexican crowd. What was apparent was the difference in body language, as one fighter was calm and determined and the other looked off.
Just minutes ago, the commissioner of boxing, Dean Lohaus, reported to us that an illegal pad was found in Margarito's gloves, something that would harden when wet.
With a pro-Margarito crowd, nothing to lose, and vengeance to gain, Mosley taught the cheater a lesson. From the beginning of the fight, the Tijuana Tornado had no strength in its wins. His body language showed a lack of confidence, and his punching showed this as well. In his corner, it was apparent he knew the hand wraps would not help him late in this fight. Even the announcers could see.
I thought he looked
a little startled between rounds when he went back to his corner.
Mosley set the groundwork for how this fight was going to look. Mosley would use a fast flicking jab to keep Margarito off of him and land big crosses when he had the chance.
I think he's got him out of his game plan just because of the fact that he's used his head so much.
If Margarito got too close, a clinch would be initiated, and to everyone's surprise, Mosley was pushing Margarito around. After Margarito smiled at Mosley's punches,
And you see the smile on Margarito's face. Where did that come from?
the beginning of the end commenced. Mosley's wrath was unleashed.
Catch a rhythm, and I think that's the best thing that Mosley's doing.
And another big right from Mosley. He has a slight grin on his face.
After half the fight gone, it was clear that Margarito could not do anything offensively, and Shane was not going to stop punching.
Inside. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clean punches on Margarito.
In the 8th round, for the first time in his career, Margarito was knocked down. In between rounds, Margarito begged his coach for the opportunity to continue fighting. His heart led him wrong, as in the 9th round, the cheater would experience his first TKO loss.
Well, still up on his feet.
He's giving him a champion's chance, but
Too big. He's got to stop this time. And comes the towel. Somewhere up in heaven, Archie Moore, Sugar Ray Robinson, Jersey Joe Walcott, old-timers who upset the odds at late ages are smiling down on Sugar Shane Mosley tonight.
Mosley's victory gave a second wind to his already long career. It propelled him into a big payday, as he was thereafter scheduled to fight against Mayweather. When he destroyed Margarito, he recovered his finances and lit a star on his name. After the fight, Margarito was never the same. Margarito's loss to Mosley raised questions on the validity of his previous wins. For instance, Margarito was losing to Cotto before the later rounds, a timeline that matches the hardening of the plaster hand wraps. But that's a different story for another day, and that's all.
To this day,